Oh guys, let's read this article about why don't write a code for a startup. Confessions of a serial startup software developer. So return on investment for time for competent engineers doesn't make sense on startups. There are other ways to make money and live well. There is no mentorship on startups. So the junior people have to figure things out alone, and senior people don't have time. And there's too much of work to do where a company is burning the cash. So there's no win-win on startups. So there's high breadth and little depth. That means there's too much of work to do and nobody knows what is the working solution is. And the startup is only valuable as the startup solves the problem and there is market for the product, and it's fun to learn something new every week, but after some time you will get bored of this and it won't make you an expert or give you skills to transfer by working on the startups. Also, it would be useful to work on a startup if you don't know what to specialize in. So people can transfer from software engineer to data scientist. So being able to write code on many languages is cool, but it won't on anything. And there would be no opportunity to optimize code and understand how things work and how to build for scale. So people would not get the experience of knowing how the things work and how to scale the thing. The only thing is they are solving the problem, not scaling, not building at scale. So there will be lots of tasks to do and you will just work hard instead of working smart. And so there will be long hours of work to do, maybe 12 plus hours a day by working at startup, rather than keeping the number of hours in the day. The more focused you are to work is better. So startups hire fast and fire faster, and it's bad, and it feels irresponsible. Rather than that, having the domain knowledge of the task is better than hiring and firing faster, because people should know what they are doing, what is the background of the work. It would be better. So startups would pay on equity, but the company may never be bought back, or they may never go public, and so you would have zero value. That means you have zero value. And also the reality is that 9 out of every 10 startups fail. Yeah, startups fail a lot. And there is no value for your equity by joining the startup. Whereas other companies, established companies which is not a startup, provide better value than the startup. So there can be exception for this to join a startup. If there is a long-term or a wealthy investor, then the culture will be less stressful. Or you don't have any job and you should just work somewhere, then you can just go and work at a startup and have some experience, because this can be a stepping stone, as well as a startup needs some cheap level. That means having a job as a startup is not your choice, but you must work at a startup because you have no experience and startups will hire you. Then you can go and work at the startup. So startups are not way to the riches, no matter how confident is the founder. So if you need to join a startup, be skeptical of the idea and team, and make your work and life balance, and take as much as salary that you can. Thank you for watching this. I hope you learned something about startups.